New travel services, Sicily, tailored for tourists.
This fascinating tour, lasting 7 days with 8 overnights, moving between sea, arts, and cinema, leads us to discover the most important cities in Sicily and a lot of places that have become famous all over the world as location in some popular movies such as The Godfather or Nuovo Cinema Paradiso or the commissary Montalbano. First day, our drivers will pick you up at the Catania airport and transfer you to the hotel in the Alcantara Valley. You will spend the rest of the day to unpack and relax. The second day, you will visit the places of the Godfather movie near Taormina. After breakfast, we will drive uphill to Savoca, one of the most prominent and lovely small towns in the area of Taormina. Here, Francis Ford Coppola filmed part of the movie The Godfather. In this setting, with its typical main square and the characteristic Vitelli bar, still intact after 40 years, Don Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino, meets Apollonia and asks her father for his daughter's hands in marriage. Then we go on to Forza di Agro, a medieval town overlooking the Ionian Sea, where Coppola shot several scenes for The Godfather, such as the wedding day. Then we proceed on to Motta di Camastra, built on a sheer cliff in the valley of the Alcantara River, where Michael Corleone, with his Picciotti, his followers, began his life as a fugitive. After a lunch break, it's time to visit the beautiful Alcantara Gorge, where a steep canyon of lava rock and icy river flows in a torrent that is both frightening and fascinating at the same time. With an extra charge, with the Godfather tour, you can go on to visit the Castello degli Schiavi, a small nobleman palace in Fiumefreddo, famous as residence of the Godfather. The third day, we will drive to Taormina, where at our suggestion or with a local guide, you will explore the picturesque town with its main square, beautiful balcony, looking over the sea and over Mount Etna, the Greek theater, the Palazzo Corvaia, the Odeon, the public gardens, Palazzo Duchi Santo Stefano. In the afternoon, after lunch, we'll drive you to Mount Etna, the highest active volcano in Europe, now declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Near Rifugio Sapienza, on reaching the altitude of 2,000 meters, you can enjoy a wonderful view of the mountain, where the sea and sky meet, and the Crateri Silvestri. With an extra cost, it is possible to climb to 3,000 meters to the top of the volcano. Firstly, taking the cable car to 2,600 meters, then with a 4x4. Then back to the hotel. The fourth day, you will visit the southeast of Sicily, destroyed by the earthquake of 1693 and rebuilt in Baroque style, declared by UNESCO World Heritage Site, and where the popular series of the commissary Montalbano was shot. Our first stop is Noto, the Sicilian capital of Baroque. Here, per our suggestion following the Corso Vittorio Emanuele, you can admire the Duomo, the numerous beautiful 18th century palaces of incredible architectural value. Then our car will drive you to Siciliy, small but characteristical Baroque center. In the fiction, the local mayor house is the base of the commissary Montalbano. After lunch in Siciliy, we will drive to Ragusa Ibla, known as one of the most beautiful towns in Sicily thanks to its historical buildings, the beautiful views, and its small, typical streets. The Iblea Public Gardens, and then the main church, which is dedicated to St. George. In the evening, we will be back to the hotel for dinner and overnight. The fifth day is dedicated to the ancient art of Sicily. After breakfast, you will leave the hotel. Our first visit is to the Roman country villa of Piazza Armerina, one of the most important archaeological sites in Sicily, mainly because of its 3,500 square meters of mosaics, which covers the floor, and above all, the famous women in the bikinis, defined in the story of art as the oldest example of this form of attire. Then after lunch, next stop is Agrigento in its Valley of the Temples, famous all over the world for its archaeological park. Per our suggestion, or with a local guide, a complete tour of the archaeological site takes up to 2 hours to admire the majestic temples built by the Greeks. Overnight stay in Agrigento. The sixth day is dedicated to two important movie sets. First, after breakfast, Palazzo Adriano, surrounded by the Siciliy mountains, where we suggest you visit the town square with its Catholic and Byzantine churches, where the director Giuseppe Tornatore filmed the famous movie Nuovo Cinema Paradiso in 1990, nominated for an Oscar and Golden Globe as Best Foreign Film. After lunch, we will reach Corleone, a rural town known as the city of Sicilian mafia and mafia bosses, the birthplace of the real Don Corleone, and where reality and fiction come together in the famous Francis Ford Coppola saga. After a scenic drive uphill and across the countryside, we will reach Palermo, the capital of Sicily, where you can have dinner, time at leisure, and overnight stay. The seventh day is dedicated to the fascinating Arab Norman monuments. At our driver's suggestion, with a local guide, you can visit in Palermo the Royal Palace, the Quattro Canti, and the Piazza della Shame, the popular local market, the Martorana Church, and the two theaters of Massimo and Politeama. We will then drive 10 minutes to Monreale, where at our suggestion or local guide, you will visit the cathedral completely covered with glittering gilded mosaics in Byzantine style with a splendid Christ Pantocrator. After lunch, we will then drive for about 1 hour to the charming fishing village of Cefalu, founded in the 4th century BC, with its medieval pebblestone streets and outstanding Arab Norman cathedral. At the end of this day full of history, artistic tradition, movie scenery, one of the new travel service luxurious car will take you back to your hotel for a well-earned rest. At the end, after this intensive week in Sicily, it's time to fly back home. Leaving the hotel, our car will drive you to the airport. Choose to immerse yourself in the fascinating history of Sicily. Choose the best. Choose new travel services.